I attempt to survive for 300 days of zombie infestations. Millions of corpses will besiege my walls, eat my soldiers and die against my weapons. Can I even last the full 300 days? Let's find out in this supercut of the undead wars of diplomacy is not an option. And we've officially landed on the coast. The undead will be here in 7 days, and they already have horrible spawning masses of death near the coast. The very first step, huge amounts of lumber mills to get all the wood. Once all the wood starts flowing, we'll be good to go. We will slowly start pushing down here and grab as many berry bushes as we can. The enemy are horrifying. The enemy are dead. We have crossbowmen, 4, we have spearmen, 4, and we have a single catapult. 3 houses are being put down to get more people. We get people at the beginning of every day. Right now we have access to 5 tomorrow. Each house will give me maybe 1 or 2 extra per day, with another 5 space. But we are pushing, crushing, killing. Or I accidentally upset the entire horde and suddenly I'm fighting for my life. We definitely need more crossbowmen and spearmen and swordsmen, but they will come in numbers unfathomable. When we say they are billions, that will be the truth. Basic research is also ongoing. We need building to be faster, we need people to be faster, some actual walls on the field, and this barracks is the start of all of that. We just need more infantry, a lot more infantry. With a load of berry pickers on the field, and we have a few swordsmen and a few archers, we're going to keep pushing down here to the coast. I want the coast to be in my name as soon as possible. Well, there's a random thing over there, but we're clearing, we're killing, and we're hopefully destroying everything we possibly can. And just like that, we've pushed over to the ocean, where we found an iron ore field. That's unlimited iron if we can hold it. So we're going to try and push and build up around this area too. We need everywhere safe. With that being said, we're going to have a couple of storages, we're going to have a builder's hut, we're going to have a stone mine, get the iron mine up and running. This area here will be one of our food gathering areas for now till we run out, and also probably one of our main storages for resources. As we push further out into the south, we're starting to clear most of the enemies. We're getting a defensive wall around our little fishing village. It won't be fishing for long, but it is for now. And we're going to keep on building and expanding an actual castle. My forces go out clearing more and more things. I'm beginning to start actually designing what the castle should be. Over here will be our military district. This will obviously be our iron forging district, probably with some houses and so on it as well. So everywhere will actually have huge amounts of resources. We won't lose everything if something happens. But we still need front lines. We still need defences, which we don't really have. Okay, the first enemy attack is coming from the north. I've literally just started building a wall in the north, so that's good. We have a few interesting choke points we will be using. While we're waiting for the enemy to attack, I also need 100 stone. 100 stone allows me to upgrade to the next tier, to get more research, to get better buildings. We need better troops and we need access to iron, and that requires tier 2. Well, the enemy is finally on their way for the first wave, but considering how far up they are, it may take a couple of days. So I'm going to get a few more troops on the field, I think. The upgrade is finally happening. We're getting to the tier 2. Yes, my little castle is getting bigger. Oh, the beginning of the actual wave has finally arrived. The first few Drakes of Doom are here, and my archers are devastating them. Oh, the enemy have finally made it to my lines. They definitely got stuck on something, but here they come. So we're killing those. The town hall is now bigger and castlier, and the first of my barracks is now being upgraded to the next tier to give me access to crossbowmen, spearmen, healers, and axe warriors. Our troops will be on the field, and we'll even get some cavalry down at some point. But here we go, the actual main wave is here, and they're being killed quite successfully. The first wave will be easy. Everything after that will be significantly harder. We are prepared, and our infantry will be on the field all the time. We will always meet them with steel. With the new tier, we can now start upgrading buildings, obviously so we can start saving on space. We don't really need to at this point, but we can. And we're also going to get a stables and engineers guild down so we can get some siege weapons. It's time to fully prepare for war. The most important upgrades I'll find will be getting the iron mines to tier 2 and the stone mines to tier 3. Tier 1 would get you 160. Tier 2 would get you 2 for each piece. And tier 3 would get you 3 for each piece. So just a tier 2 here would be 320 stone. So we need to upgrade all of our mines before we run out of those resources. The absolute biggest thing I can now build are farms. Farmlands do certain amounts of food, but take up massive amounts of space because the actual farm fields themselves. But now that I have farms, I have unlimited food with the space I have. With the army of thousands thing being prepared, I could literally just build directly on the trees and destroy them. But we're going to do a slash and burn technique to get all the wood first. An enemy force is now on its way from the northwest corner. I don't know if they're going to come this way or this way, but I have my force here prepared for them. 42 brave soldiers will meet them on the field of battle. And also, because I couldn't keep waiting for this area to be cleared, I've built a temporarily permanent farm up here. It looks like this attack is heading towards this wall, so the archers have been sent to there, and my infantry are holding this corner. But I think most of the attacks will hit here, so we're going to build a massive undead kill zone. And here come the enemy. They are attacking this wall here, so our troops should be able to hold them off. Although the fact that this is the first wave, and there seems to be more further up, the numbers are getting bigger already. Enemy forces are still sort of sneaking out the tree line. We now have access to dreadful ghouls. New varieties of hopping buggers are here. We also need to upgrade our walls a bit better, I think. But either way, we're meeting them on the field, and they should all die. And also, our archers don't have the range, so we may have to replace them with more crossbowmen. So the archers may be sent out on a minor... Oh my god, look how many there are. On a mission. Look how many things there are now. The swordsmen are still holding out quite well, which is ironic considering how weak they are, but we are about to lose some swordsmen. Now they will start turning into undead after a bit of time, unless I bury the bodies, because as you know, burying people means they never get up again. No one likes getting up after a nap. Yeah, a few soldiers have died, we're just going to let them rot, and when they get up, shoot them again. That's fine. I also need to figure out what to do with the archers. The archers fire faster than crossbowmen, but have a much shorter range, as you can see by the marker. So I need to figure out what to do with them. Maybe there'll be a front line of archers, then crossbowmen. My forces, pushing out along the flanks near the ocean, have found unlimited stone. So we need to start building up here when we get to tier 3 to get the unlimited stone up and running. We have a huge amount of spearmen, some crossbowmen, and 2 mascot swordsmen. Oh, my spearmen pushing out into the southeast have just found another type of enemy. The Shepherd of Horrors. Don't they look fun? With 180 health. Don't do much damage, but I can imagine a wave of them being a seriously bad problem. Oh, I've just heard the sounds of my people getting back up after a little nap. Luckily, we put them back down another time. A load of temporarily permanent buildings are being built down here. We've got a lot of lumber mills and a few storages to sort them out. We're going to clear this area out. And rather than farms, it's going to be the housing district. The farming district is going to be put outside the wall over here, I think, because houses are super important. And also, the enemy's attacking from this way. And to deal with the attack, we now have access to siege weapons. And yes, it's only catapults for now, but ballistas, Birdam chimeras and trebuchets will be joining the field after this gets to level 3. We just need money and lots of stone for that. Luckily, the marketplace will be up and running, where we're going to start selling all the huge amounts of wood we have. Although, I'll be honest, 400 wood for 10 gold, that's not much of a fortune, but we're taking it anyway. Yeah, the goblins do love taking all of our money and resources, don't they? If they hit this wall along here, then work their way down. Now, they are being destroyed by all of my crossbowmen, which is good, and the spearmen will hold the line. It looks like it's just huge amounts of Drakes of Doom, which is easy enough to kill. However, with the line of attack found from over here, we can move our defences to this point. So we're going to scout out a good assault position and prepare to attack. Whoa! The enemy just used a catapult on me. What is that? Machino flesh! The enemy is using catapults on my troops. We're going to have to rush it. So that was a thing. The enemy has catapults, apparently. Didn't know they... Oh my god, didn't know they had them at all. It's got arms. It's got a head. Ew. It's not doing much damage because I'm heavily armoured, but, you know, they can now bring down our walls, so we're killing that off. Whoa! My troops pushed out and just found this thing. The Magister of Necromancer. It's got so many arms and it's reading books. So there's evil afoot in the field. The city is still growing, significantly more houses, and the farmland just outside is finally being built. The great city is getting there. We have more troops and an enemy attack in the northeast. Our army is prepared and our people are getting there. And as the attack wave slowly comes in, we upgrade our town hall to level 3. It's time to get the super castle, and my army out here is prepared for war. The enemy wave has finally started turning up, and it's quite far away from where that marker is. So I think there's some artillery at the rear. Either way, we have spearmen, we have lots of healers, and we have crossbowmen. It's quite an easy kill so far. I've wiped out a couple of hundred of them. The enemy keeps rushing in. My troops are now on hold the line, so they will move out of position but then go back in. I did that mainly because I wanted a nice wall of spears and the enemy was pulling them out of position. Oh! And the Magister of Necromancy is now officially in the field. So these things we just saw, they're now officially here. We're going to kill them. Because apparently these guys will resurrect my guys to fight for their guys. Which I'm not really happy about. Now luckily I have enough troops that we shouldn't lose anyone. Yep, there's definitely catapults back here. But we are having a few minor issues with the sheer number of troops they are sending my way. This is only a few waves in, remember. It's going to get worse. And while my troops are fighting and one spearman has sadly died, we are now at level 3. We're going to upgrade this to get some hammer guys and foot knights on the field. The foot knights will take the hit. Oh, many people have now died. We've lost 6 or 7 soldiers. This is because of the shepherds. The shepherds are really powerful. The catapults just mostly annoy me. Oh, 12 people! The catapults are really powerful. I just lost 6 guys in one go. I was about to insult them. I've changed my mind. With nearly all of my mines being upgraded to level 3, or 2 of their iron, and some of the walls being added with extra iron, we're getting ready for next stages of war. I'm just going to fill this area with houses, start putting in farmland over here, and I think we're ready for whatever the enemy can throw at us. In the farmlands I'm building, we found another iron ore field. I might use it, I might not, but it's another option for even more iron to flow in. We have 3 of those, and 1 stone. So we have plenty of iron to make the spearmen never stop marching. Another attack is happening from the north, and the dead spearmen are getting back up, because I don't recognise that guy, and he is heading towards me. Yep, they're definitely my men coming back to say hello. Luckily, my cavalry, which is 17 horse archers, is giving them the 17 arrow salute. The enemy attack is on its way, and this one's actually moving quite fast. This might actually be our very first undead cavalry charge. I'm going to temporarily permanently build a university just here. We will eventually move it because it's in the military district. I'm also hearing cavalry noises from over here. Listen carefully, you can hear them. And here they come. It's just literally undead horses. Not cavalry, just literal horses. Now the troops will not move out of position, so we should be good to kill all of them. In fact, looking at these numbers, the cavalry appears to be doing the most damage by single unit so far, outside of the shepherds. But they just didn't have the numbers to slow me down. With the university up, I can get my food down, free dinners. But obviously I want to go and get free dinners. 20% less food in areas. This means these taverns will make all of my houses use a lot less food. Now I need to make some more areas for the houses and the taverns. But see this? This covers most of it. Now I did lie earlier. The most important research from university is this. The eternal stone and the eternal iron. So we're going to get the eternal stone source once we get 500 wood and start building eternal stone and eternal iron. We need all the resources to sell, to build, to buy. 2 more attacks are coming on the wave 6 on day 40. But we also have locals. It appears to me that the enemy is just pouring in. It might have something to do with the trebuchets I now have in all these towers. So we're going to talk about the towers very quickly. So this one here, which is a 2-person, from this does 65, whereas the basic one for this only does 50. But of course, these are significantly weaker on the health and armour. So I'm going to be putting guard towers at certain key areas because they have greater range, while anything stone will be on the front line. And they also have these little nodules to pour out boiling oil. We're going to burn the enemy as they touch us. Interesting. So the forces that come from the right-hand side, the reason they're hitting up here is because they're literally heading towards this rock and then splitting either way. But the forces you can see are going both ways. That's actually very interesting. Now, we should still be holding them because I have a lot of troops here anyway, and catapults, and now there's trebuchets everywhere. But we are holding steady. I'll be honest, you don't get too many from here. It looks like mostly the stragglers which get cut off. The main force is still coming this way and hitting my cavalry. Now, over here, we're still doing good. We are actually going to have all of my trebuchets do the aim for the greatest target, because that will probably bring down catapults and so on. But there we are. My infantry are holding steady, my cavalry are doing great, and my walls are unbreachable. One issue we are going to have, it looks like we're having it already, is our weapon systems, which are catapults and so on. If they hit walls and things, they just bounce off, hitting this section here and then disappearing. Same thing over this side. All my troops are dying. So I need to figure out where my troops are, if they're in the right position for my forces. And right now the answer is probably not. They're just where I need them to be for now. Now look at how troops which can deal with all these forces. I have just noticed that they target the strongest, and that is the Magister of Necromancy and not the catapult. So these guys are the toughest thing. So their siege machines, as you saw, do a lot more damage than they should because they're left alive for far too long. And there's nothing we can do about it just yet till everything else is dead. Maybe we are going to have to get some cavalry. A minor issue has happened. I put a catapult in this tower here. It opened fire in this area here, and now the catapult, the tower, and this farm are dead. My infantry of 90 spearmen are on their way to try and salvage what's left, but we have lost a couple of buildings and there'll be dead people inside my city. That's not the best news, but on the bright side, I am rebuilding over here too, and there's an enemy attack on its way. The enemy forces are definitely getting a lot larger. This attack's been hitting me now for a couple of minutes, and the enemy is still all the way back on the other side. And the longer it takes them to bugger off, the more magisters of necromancy get on the field. And because I do keep losing troops, because I like infantry on the front line, my own soldiers are trying to stab me in the face occasionally. One good thing I will say is the ballista on the back row are wiping out the masters of necromancy, which allows my absolutely huge trebuchet force to wipe out their catapults. It's still not fully effective because, again, everything targets the necromancers, but we are killing them a lot more than they are killing us. Spearmen still die, but that's a risk I personally am willing to take. The enemy attack starts on day 47, by the way. It's day 49 in a few seconds, and their forces are still here as their main force. Now, despite the steadily increasing losses, we are still destroying the enemy. Another large-scale enemy attack is ongoing. It's been going on for about a day or so. They've only just arrived. But as you can see from this bit here and this marker here, there's going to be about 2 or 3 days worth of enemies pouring in. I'm also building the military district. There'll be 12 barracks around an obelisk, which allows me to drop meteors upon the enemy. Like this. Gone. The housing district is expanding, but there's a market in the middle, and the great farmland is pushing outwards. The magisters are so hard to kill. It can take entire seconds of 8 ballista, catapults, and crossbowmen to bring them down. Like, look at them. They're just absorbing the damage, and the longer they stay alive, the more the enemy gets through. So we need more firepower. The spearmen are moving in. Remember, every soldier who falls, I will honour them in my heart, and then forget about them and recruit their children. On the bright side, the machino fleshes are actually really easy to kill with just 2 or 3 strikes. Unfortunately, my spearmen die in their hundreds just getting the enemy's attention, but luckily the walls aren't being destroyed. I say it's easy, but it has been about 3 days give or take, and we're still fighting the same way, so the enemies are numerous. And like I say, eventually the waves must be so constant, it must be an unending tide of death. Food issues are quite seriously a thing. I'm using about 800 a day, and you see this number of 1170? This time 3 days ago, it was at 1500. I hit only 55 food the previous round when it started, so we are losing more and more and more food. So I have more and more berry pickers' houses across the area, but we are losing food. Look at that, 12 barracks making soldiers. We've got a bit more food because I just straight up bought food because I can do that. We're making so much iron, I'm just going to buy food until I get it sorted out. But we have so many troops pouring out. We even have a cavalry involving archers, infantry, on horseback and actual knights as well. Enemy attacks are rolling in, 2 over here, 1 over here. I'm kind of ignoring them because I have an army of cavalry here, an army of infantry here, and a massive spearmen here. I'm also slowly getting more siege weapons for the walls. I've moved the tavern to here. I've expanded the network of neighbourhoods. I've started building 2 stables over here on a wall to get 2 more stables. And over here, I'm expanding the farmland. Now, right now it's under attack because I'm a muppet, so I'm sending in a squad of knights. I'm making a lot of knights, but they need money. Now, outside of that, we are, oh my god, holding the line, and a lot of spearmen are about to die. We're sending in the infantry. Outside of that, I also have this spell here. I've upgraded it a few times. It summons, for 2 whole crystals, 30 knights, which lasts for about a minute or so. So they'll be here, killing a few things, distracting the enemy, and stabbing people. Now they can't be revived, and of course I don't get that many crystals. To get crystals, they have to destroy buildings, or occasionally drop from the siege weapons. So that's my current thing. Kill the siege engines, and slowly but surely wipe out everything else. But spearmen die, and then get back up again, which is a bigger problem than it used to be with this many dead spearmen. Up north, my mounted knights are extremely powerful, but of course, we also have the issue that when they die, they're really powerful fighting against me. Like, look at the damage they're doing to each other. So every single gate now has healers on it, so we can retreat there if we take too much damage. Despite the sheer numbers and the fact we're losing a couple of pieces of wall, we have survived quite easily. We do need a lot more spearmen because I'm down to 30 out of 170, but we hold the line and they did their job. So there it is, another wave survived. The next attack, by the way, is on day 69. Nice. So an interesting thing I just found out is enemy cavalry, which anything spawns in this corner, will go through this zone over here. So I can't actually just let them go this way. I now need a defensive section for here. So as the city grows, this area becomes more dangerous. Luckily, I have huge amounts of knights pushing in, but the healers are really far back, as you can see. The knights seem more powerful than the horses, but there seems to be a lot more horses because another wave... Oh, and there's undead hulks. So we're going to have to destroy this and pull back. The enemy should hopefully go that way. On the bright side, the enemy is still pathing up that way, even though they're being hit by catapults. So as long as I stay down here, the enemy won't attack me. So I just don't need to build here, and I'll be fine. Because honestly, looking at the knights, they are taking out the hulks quite well. In fact, I think the horses are doing more damage than the hulks were. The hulk's main thing is splash damage, and of course knocking troops over. They don't get that with my guys, because they are knights and elite. All in all, another wave mostly wiped out, even if we did use a large chunk of our knights. I'd say about 50 of them have died so far, which is a lot of knights. A large chunk of our cavalry has fallen as well, which is mostly the mounted horsemen as opposed to the actual knights. But either way, we've lost a lot of troops, and that hurts. And with that, the loss of all of these knights and this force over here, we've survived to night 70. I've begun massive expansion of the area. We now have this area here being turned into housing. It's being done in 3x3 lines because I just want it to be different to this section. But this section will be replicated in other areas too. The city will grow and expand outwards from this central defensive area. This will be turned into a glorious keep. Due to me having more stone than iron, and apparently axemen requiring stone, we now have a 300-man army being set up. We have spearmen, we have axemen, we have crossbowmen, and then we have healers. This will be the front line against everything. I have officially decided to build the centre of our city just here. As you can see, there will be glorious fountains and lots of housing. Unfortunately, that means it's outside of the walls, and that's why my entire army is marching here. You can probably see that we have made a mistake. Yes, it's an us thing. So my troops are moving forward. My cavalry's being prepared over here. And we have this area over here being heavily fortified with infantry. And the beginning of the wave has already arrived. Luckily I have spearmen. Luckily I have catapults. And luckily I have ballistae. Most of the enemy isn't that strong. We're going to have a few issues with catapults because we always do. But I have more siege weapons than they do. So that should solve a lot of issues. Now, if it doesn't, that's another problem. But we are holding slowly but surely, and the axe warriors, all well trained, are being sent in. Now, the problem we're having is it's obviously day 86. I have huge amounts of troops on the way. Let's send in the foot knights. Let's send in the hammer guys. See these markers here and all the way over here? If I drop a squad of soldiers just here, we'll probably see thousands of enemies. Now this marker over here is going round, as you can see, and being picked off by the troops over here. But it does mean we are fighting quite literal thousands. Look at them all. The knights are being sent in, the hammer guys are being sent in. Everything is problematic. We're actually going to pull back the ballista and the catapults because they are taking too much damage. But we have lost some ballista and we have lost some infantry. Now on the other end of the spectrum, we are destroying them quite easily. There's still a lot of ballistas, there's still a lot of trebuchets, and there's still a lot of infantry. Now of course that's not everything. I was actually trying out something here to make a layered tower. I think it just looks cool. But the enemy, they'll be destroyed or we'll lose a few, but we'll still hold. Now this massive insanity is what we'll be expecting from now on. Now I do have cavalry, which is good. I have siege weapons, which are great. And I have walls, which are not yet finished. But you see these numbers? This is the future. It's a horrifying future, but it's the future nonetheless. Now one thing I can do is this. I do this, my troops now have exploding arrows. And now to do ever effect, you see that? Suddenly things are dying faster. But yeah, there's a few of them. Way too many of them. And the centre of the city is looking really nice. See that? If you ignore the death of all the soldiers over here, it's looking great. Luckily, this wave seems to be slowing down. There's very few siege engines going in this pile of thousands. So my archers are picking them off over here, my infantry's holding them here, and the towers are finally going up. Because there's dead bodies around, I'm going to build a few temporary permanent hospitals. We'll need those to clear the bodies and stop infection. Last thing we want is an infection to spread and kill everyone off inside our city. Expensive news. Because I've had to expand the city, which now looks a little bit different, I've had to expand the farmland. And because of that, I've had to push forward my army. As you can see, they're now rushing towards here to a very hastily constructed wall. The enemy's coming from the north against these hundreds of soldiers, and to the east against every single soldier I have. Well, the enemy's already here. We have 2 and a bit towers up and running. We're having lots of attacks on this bit here, 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 and here. So that's 4 waves coming in over here. So there's a few enemies visible. This is the most open of my entire city, this area here. So the enemy is returning 5 catapults. Oh god, the axe warriors are outside the lines. Enemy numbers are quite significant. We might actually lose all of our knights and hammer guys. Our cavalry is holding the line for now. We have huge amounts of catapults dealing with this Magister of Necromancy situation. We are somewhat holding, and the towers are somewhat going up. Back on this side, we've still got the dregs moving in. It looks like they're caught on something, so we'll wipe out as many as we can. But this side, where the true, oh my god, war is happening, I've had to send the cavalry forward. They need to hold the line. Currently, we're having major issues over here. This area here, the walls are completely gone, and what's left of the knights are now officially dead. In fact, some of them have turned around and attacked our walls themselves. So we are dealing with that. I'm about to beam all these catapults because they are in the way. And now, suddenly, the enemy has no siege engines. So we may have lost a lot of troops, but we have held the line. Back on the other side, the wall of spearmen holds. No matter how many spearmen die, we have more spearmen. And with the enemy forces mostly destroyed here, we rebuild the walls. And over here, the enemy is getting nowhere close. I've used a couple of beams, but our new building, this over here, the alchemical transgressor, which can only be built on a rift, which is here, will turn 4 iron every 40 seconds into 1 crystal. So I'm slowly building soul crystals to use my deadly powers of deadliness. Just like this. See that? More beams, more crystals, more random infantry spawning out of nowhere. Speaking of crystals and sudden troops, wave 111 is on its way. My army on the right is, not exactly big. Most of them are dead. We have contributed extra barrel mines. We're now using high explosives to deal with the undead. And up into the north, we have the horde. It's lots of cavalry, so I'm pulling in my army. I mean, it's not a big army, but I'm pulling it in regardless. Now, horses are, of course, fast. Oh, cool, here come the hordes too. And hard to kill. The knights can deal with them, but we don't have enough knights, so we're going to start getting some more money and pumping out infantry again. This side is easily done, like this. And there we go. Most of them are now dead. So this wall will lose a few pieces, but it's easily held. I'm changing my mind about easily held. Hundreds of hulks are just pouring in over here on the right side wall. Look at this. Which means this side with the 2-hull squad is going to have more issues. So we've dropped some infantry to slow them down. Yeah, I'm just straight up beaming this. So this area here is being solved. It won't solve all of our issues, but a couple of beams using some of our crystals, we should have had about 60, solved a lot of problems. And there we go, this side is now saved. Yeah, we've definitely held really well. Well, there's another question I have. The meteor, how much health do these guys have? 230, so this meteor would instantly kill them all for 10. And, also my infantry too, that was dumb of me. But either way, we can now use meteors. We do need more soul crystals. So we're going to send out the cavalry to go have a look at the locals. I also want you to know, while these guys are dying, we've used up a lot of crystals, it's actually cheaper for me to throw away the lives of my infantry than it is to use crystals. My soldiers, I'd say about 30 of them are worth every single crystal we use. Outside of that, lives are still the cheapest thing I can throw at any situation. So I'm expanding the city to get more cheap lives. It will require more food, but I think Damn it. I think I've got the food situation sorted out too. Another thing we have done, we don't really have much in the way of stables or siege engine areas, so I started to build it up over here. This will be an area for all of our cavalry to meet up, just next to the barracks. I'm not sure where the siege engines will go. Maybe we'll destroy this and put the siege engines here. With that all being said, the central area of the housing is actually looking really good. We have a lot of housing, we have breweries, we have lots of fountains. People would be very happy to live there. I think that'd look nice.
The city is under attack.
Wait, what?
Our people are under attack.
Oh, cool. There's undead in my base? Wait, is this a rebellion or undead? What the... Walking corpses. Has there been a plague inside my city and I didn't notice? The cavalry keeps pushing out, large numbers of knights now exist, and the horsemen, who have 2 extra swords strapped to their backs for some reason, are always leading the charge. Their lives are quite short. Tell you what, the cavalry force is decimating the enemy. We are retaking all of our land. We've gone from maybe a third of the map to owning and visibility on over half of the map. We are pushing outwards, and more horsemen and knights are moving forward. Oh my god, enemy forces are massive and prepared. I don't even know where this one attacked. This one here might hit the side of this. I may need to use my cavalry to deal with that. The new waves are arriving, the cavalry is prepared to sacrifice their lives, and the infantry are ready. I am sending out masses of archers right now. They're not going to make it, but we're reinforcing this lineup over here. In an exploration situation, the cavalry has been sent forwards. They will hit the dark tide. They are moving across, so they're not hitting here. Maybe they're going to go round and hit here because the enemy pushes this side. Maybe this is the prime target. In fact, because we now know they're going a different direction, we're going to pull the cavalry back and see where the enemy actually hits. Down over here, my infantry have moved from these walls to these walls. They will hit the enemy and they will hold the line hard. We also have down here 145 axe warriors. They're cheap and they will die if need be. Oh, I was right. An undead horseman from a previous attack is now charging here. So the enemy is going all the way round and hitting here, which is where some of my heavy defensive layers are. And over on this side, there's also a choke point happening because the enemy is going round here. So they're also not going to do well at it. We are killing at least 2 waves with a minimal amount of effort. Why are you two doing that? Our big problem will be these 2 markers here, which I think both will be hitting this wall. Hopefully this one hits this wall, in which case there'll be 2 massive groups hitting 1 tiny choke point. It does look like 2 entire waves are hitting this wall over here on the left in the west, so now it's to move my cavalry to go deal with it, because that might be a problem. I'll be honest, with the enemy only pushing through this gap here, I don't even think we need to fortify this area. We would have extra archers on it just in case, but now we have extra archers to put on different walls. Over on this side, my spearmen have yet to really engage because the enemy is being annihilated. We are now doing a 2-tower system for my defences. I'm thinking the first wall should be ballista and the one behind it should be massive trebuchets. And because it's in a block, we can still have our troops walk around and escape if the towers go down. This wall, like I said, is barely being touched. A couple of catapults have hit it, but that's fine. This wall over here, they're not even getting close, so we still have more spaces for siege weapons. It looks like they might be needed, but otherwise this area is sealed too. Because apparently they are hitting my city fountain with catapults, which is a problem. And they're hitting this massive guard tower as well, which is also a problem. So there'll be a few more. Look at that. Vandals. The east side is basically done. The enemy is almost out of troops and they've done a little bit of scratching work. The northeast is basically done. This area completely sealed them off. And the west hand side, I have deployed a few troops and I'm about to deal with that because that is way too many siege units. So if you get rid of all the siege units, we're doing well. And the cavalry has made sure that the enemy stays dead on. We've just pushed them through. The back tail of this area is gone. A few more horsemen will die. And this area over here is basically clear. We just have the dregs of society reaching the walls. In an attempt to make sure I can see more of the map, I'm clearing more of the map. What we're going to do is actually have builder huts push outwards and start building huge amounts of watchtowers. Watchtowers can see nearly everything. So we need a couple of those out there to kind of see what the enemy's up to. Extremely far up in the north, I finally found another stone ore field. And then next to it, a stone ore field. So this area here would be on massive amounts of stone. We just need to hold it and defend it, which should be easy to do because the enemy seems to ignore this area. Wave 130 has happened, and as you can see, I've used a few infantry to have a look. It's all moving towards this wall here, so it should be easily killed, and these two are moving towards this wall here with all the spearmen. So both these waves should be easily killed. They're wiping out my secret builder base! So that's not a good place for it, we've just learned. But again, despite the loss of a builder base and 2 people, this is an easy wave to clear, because they're all rushing towards this. And this area here is heavily fortified against this massive style assault. Despite how many Magisters of Necromancy there are, I was correct. This force is still being quite heavily devastated before they get close to the walls. I could probably do with a few more trebuchets over here to really make sure, but the enemy is still dying in significantly large numbers. Over here there's more problems, so I've wasted a few more supplies than I'd like, just to even the numbers out. There are way too many catapults. I'm having to use the beam continuously to wipe out the catapults. So I've built a few towers over here, and we'll add some long-range firepower on this side too. Stop freezing. Also, for those keeping updates, the only building I've lost so far is this bloody fountain. They keep hitting this fountain, then they keep hitting these 2 guard towers. So I keep losing guard towers after I lose fountains. And I'll be honest, we definitely need to send out the troops because the enemy are still pouring in. Now this area, easily killing them. This area, the infantry are now officially... Why is the city under attack? They're hitting my houses now? Sods. With the extra ballista over here and more trebuchets on the way, this side is... There's no danger of this ever falling. They just can't get the numbers into this area. And the more trebuchets I have, the more the enemy catapults and necromancers die. This side, however, is more of a problem because, again, there's a few more troops and open area. And they keep attacking my towers. But all in all, despite the loss of a few spearmen and a few dead peasants who are just living outside their houses, we've held this wave mostly successfully. This area here is a few left. This area here is slowly flowing in. And this area here, despite the huge numbers, I don't know where they went. In a bigger attempt to keep my troops alive inside this kill zone, I put a load of healers upon the walls. Yes, you can put troops on the walls. I haven't done it because it's stupid, but now we have healers there. So my spearmen can keep fighting even longer. Day 141 and a massive attack is happening on 5 separate sides. Now these 2 will of course hit this bit here, which I don't care about. These 2 are going to ram into my hundreds of spearmen. There's now barrel mines and spikes, we'll see what they do. And this side is getting huge amounts more axe warriors to the front line. We'll meet them on the field and see what happens. Over in the north, the cavalry is moving to reinforce this section, just in case. You never quite know. Because I'd like to push the wall up to here to start getting unlimited stone and expand the city behind it. If the city could take this area, that would be great. And this area over here will be the farmland, which means this wall also has to be expanded out to here. The enemy have now hid the wall. They're being shot by it a lot, but the axemen will engage. They will probably die in a large number. In fact, to encourage them, I'm going to put down 4 summons. This is 120 infantry. Yes, that's a lot of soldiers suddenly on the side. There we go. The northern wall, as expected, is decimating the enemy. I mean, look at that. The numbers are going down really easily. This side is way too open, and the enemy is fighting us in a realistic way. So let's stop that. Thank you. So yes, we are doing well, and the explosions have already been breached. The axemen are already mostly gone. Look at this. The enemy has just straight up wiped this area. There are way too many necromancers on the field. There's still actual axe warriors coming from the keep to rush headlong into death. What is this, Game of Thrones final series sieges? In the north, some of the walls are going down. I had to use a single beam to wipe out a lot of catapults. I might use a second one just to make sure. But mostly, this is an easy kill zone. And in the other northern side, the spearmen move forwards. The spearmen will engage and hopefully they will not die. And if they do die, there's more spearmen. Over on this wall, they've reached us quite immensely. The spearmen are gone. Oh my god, the spearmen are gone. Yeah, this is an issue, isn't it? So, beam here. Let's kill a few of them. There we are. Just solve a few more problems. But yeah, my troops are mostly gone, which is a problem. There was a couple of 100 soldiers out there. They're not there anymore. Up here, nothing's surviving. And over here, it's time, maybe, oh my god, to send in the cavalry. It's definitely time to expand the city. We do need more soldiers. This wall over here has taken significant damage. This wall has taken a little bit of damage. And this wall here is a war zone of many dead spearmen. To help the north, the horse archers are sent in because they do have the exploding arrow ability. There we are. Just burn through them. Burn, baby, burn. This will clear a huge chunk out. This area here still has catapults on the way, which is a problem. And the spearmen are still holding from the first line. More spearmen will be used to hold this line. Although, some spearmen actually survived. Look at that. And all the knights did. Sending in the horse archers has actually helped out immensely. This entire section has been neutered. They are now gone. This side has a lot of stuff going on, but the catapults and the spearmen are holding the line. Yeah, despite the sheer numbers, we have fully cleared. This area's gone. This area here has a few left. Look, there's even spearmen on the front line. There's still 100 spearmen in the first wave. We still have 400 more spearmen waiting to take their places. This was them getting nowhere close and killing a fountain, which is annoying. In a colossally stupid move, remember when I said I was expanding the city? I've decided to expand the city. So a wall's going up, and there's a few hundred spearmen guarding it. Siege weapons, cavalry and everything is pushing upwards to get this wall running. Whether it's going to work is going to be found out soon, I imagine. I've also just realised I was going to build this wall there to keep the stone in. So this wall here, even though it's fully fortified and being prepared, is in the wrong place. And wherever I can in front of any position there's going to be farmland. What that means is there's always going to be fields in front of my positions. That will be good to get more food, and also I don't really care if we lose the farms, we can easily rebuild them. You may have noticed I've pushed the wall forwards. Here's the old wall, I've destroyed the towers. Here's my siege weaponry, here's my infantry force. They're currently standing out front. The enemy is sending 2 large-scale attacks to this wall here. I think this one hits this wall. They're sending 1 large-scale attack to this wall here. This large-scale attack to this wall here. And I think this one over here should path to the front here. But honestly, it's hitting here, so it could go either way. In the south, I have 125 knights. Up here, 786 spearmen, some random archers, and some healers backed up by 6 ballistae. A quick experiment shows me that the enemy is breaking into 2. A lot of the troops are going round to here, and there's a group going into this. And I don't know where they go after that. I'm thinking they go down, and then we'll have to see where. But my sacrificial Dark Knights have proven that the enemy is very bunched up. So it's going to do this and take out a few hundred of them. But yeah, there's a horde brewing. Don't know where they're going. The cavalry is prepared for the assault over here. Here's one of those veins giving me the crystals I told you about. Down in the southern area, it looks like this force has split, but both sides are still going to here. Are they going here? They are going here. So it looks like they're going to go this way. So we actually are going to need some defences holding this bit here with a couple of sets of archers and maybe some trebuchets right behind them. It's a problem, isn't it? So we're fortifying, we're defending, and we're holding. The enemy is already here, pushing onto this bit of the wall here, and they've hit the spearman horde. Remember, we don't really want catapults. Catapults kill infantry. Yeah, over here there is a minor problem. We're going to go drop a meteor here and here. The enemy is straight up pathing this way. So we are going to use some of my stored up crystals to drop a couple of hundred Dark Knights. It's only 2 per time, so there we go. Have about 400 Knights. Down south, the Knights, 125 of them, will take many hits. A few of them will die, but a lot of them will not. And that will allow us to get some more healers on the walls, because we need to, and take the tanking shots. Over here, the spearmen are steadily taking a few hits, and send in the horde. Now the problem with the horde is there's a few too many of them, so I have to send them in piecemeal. Just like that. The cavalry is also going in. We're sending in all the troops. They will destroy as much as we can, clear as much as we can. We may lose a few cavs, we may lose a few infantry, but we are going to start doing damage to their very own lives. There we are, look at that. And the spearman horde is devastating them. We are losing troops at last, but that is fair and expected. As long as the infantry push in, and the amount of infantry we can push in is insane, we're good. Although this bunching up is not. And if in doubt, send some Dark Knights. There we are. So we're holding nicely. Drop a meteor here. Holding very nicely. The enemy's mostly dead. The Knights are mostly holding. He has a few injuries, but whatever. This area here is still a minor problem. But it looks like we've solved that as well. And we have huge amounts more space for an expansion if you want to see it. This side, as always, is dead. A few pieces of wall damage. This side, as always, is doing well. The knights are insane with healers on the walls. This area is being fortified as we speak.
Units are in combat.
And this side has so many infantry pushing forwards. Oh, this side is taking a few too many hits. Let's destroy some of their siege engines. Because I just noticed we have lost chunks of walled area. So our biggest issue is still we can't kill the siege engines fast enough because the enemy targets the magisters. Our cavalry have decimated this area with only a few minor losses, which we can of course replace. And our infantry over here have absolutely taken the field and caused this enemy to be hit by a meteor. We've spent about 100 crystals, we've survived 150 days, and the enemy have been sent back to the graves from whence they belong. Yeah, they definitely aren't surviving here. The army grows and the city still exists. And also, we need to work on the defences and the military. We only have a few thousand soldiers. We need to fight the undead hordes on the field. And also, I don't quite like the way the walls look. They're a little bit too square. Now, while this side here is still fending off the last wave from 151, we are expanding stone mines, we need more storage, and I need to get more houses. The very first step, however, is securing this corner over here. I'd like to see why this side keeps getting attacked. My 1-foot knight over here has been guarding this place for a couple of months now and needs a break. Oh, look at this. We've had to push out to try and save my knight of his really bored duties. But this is an attack point, and this is a wall here, which means I can probably just... I can seal this area off. That one knight defending the tower for weeks may be able to get a reprieve from several hundred archers defending this area instead. We still need more houses for more builders and things, but it's the beginning of some great things. In fact, let's get the builder's hut here and another hut there. They will help build the brand new defensive line. One of the styles I'm working for is big massive towers which hold 9 people or 4 siege engines, and the stone towers in the middle. These can only hold 1 siege engine, but they have greater range and actually look over things. So I'm looking at this, maybe big tower, 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 big tower. Of course, this area here is going to be a little bit different because of how it looks, but it gives better defences. I don't like the idea of just having a straight line either. I'm going to have it crenellated, like out, in, out, in, out, in. Another big thing I need to do is sort out the housing. Now, the central area looks really amazing, but I can't really do much with it because of where it is. I'd like to expand to here, but then the farming has to move. This area, as we've decided, is going to be a massive farming section, which means it'll be in front of the walls. It'll be destroyed every attack, but I'm okay with that. So we just need more housing, more farming, more food, more everything. Another thing regarding the farms we're going to have to do is actually sort out how they look. You can see here, most of these farms are filling this, which is why we're having issues with food. It's not that we don't have enough farms, we don't have enough places nearby for them to fill up on the food and the granaries. So that's another thing we need to sort out. So this is roughly how I want the defences to look. We have ballista and catapults. The ballista, of course, hit the important things. The catapults hit the squads. And then we have the massive trebuchets also hitting things like that. Whether it works is a different matter, because I'm putting this together literally as you can see me talking about it. So this isn't fully planned. We'll have to see. So if the next siege hits this area, I want to see how well it does. If it fails, we've only lost about 130 odd soldiers. It seems like a lot, but for me it isn't, so I'm okay with this many losses. Now, enemy attacks are coming up here against the wall of infantry, up here against this wall which has been proven time and again to destroy them, and 2 major attacks on this wall here which I have very recently weakened by taking soldiers off to reinforce here. Now, there actually is an enemy attack here. It looks like even though they come out this bit here, they still have to go this way, so we'll soon see how well this does. But the rest of the walls should hopefully hold, and we still have a lot of cavalry waiting. With the test down here, I'd like to do a couple more things as well. I don't think we have the time. I'm thinking more towers here and here, because the enemy I think is going to path up to here. Then I'd like to have a couple more catapult towers, maybe here and here, because I think they're going to be pushed out, because when the enemy spawns in, they just get rammed into any available space. This could be full of them and get hit by catapults. We haven't got the time for it, but we're going to try. I doubt they'll make it, but here we are. And I'm thinking, if the enemy hits here, this force moving in front of the gate because the weak point. I don't know about anywhere else. This force is probably going to be destroyed completely on this wall here. This force, I can't remember if it paths here or this way. And this force here, I imagine you're going to lose a few people, but this area here still needs more defences. This is where I'm talking about needing better defences, because right now it's just 4 trebuchets on a wall, which isn't good, because those trebuchets can't shoot nearby. So I'm imagining a lot of spearmen may die here. The towers went up, there's no real way for me to use them, but they're up. And I've moved that catapult from here to here, because as you can see, the enemy is genuinely being pushed into this spot here. A couple of catapults could effectively destroy so many. Now, I wish there was a kill count for somebody. Look at that. If I just do a single beam here, I'm going to kill hundreds. Look at that. See? They just get shoved in when they pour out. This area here is literally a graveyard for them. So we're going to leave it like that. And it looks like the towers are being shot by their siege engines, which is why I do, in fact, have this group and this group aiming at the toughest enemies. Hope they can help out. Unfortunately, the toughest enemies will always be the Masters of Necromancy. So the catapults are secondary targets. Now, if I lose a couple of stone towers, that's fine. And this area over here, they are leaving so many injured and dead. I'm going to make a U-shaped defence here, I feel. Of course, this area here might get destroyed. Who cares? There's so many defences there. This area over here, I think, yeah, 2 forces are attacking here. This might need to be redone. I'm not too sure. It's just annoying is what it is. And this area here has the infantry. Back in this edge, it looks like I will be losing one of the towers because no one's shooting at it. I could use magic myself, but that's not the whole goal. I don't want to use magic. I want to use the lives of my men as payment rather than paying the gods above me. So we are going to lose a couple of stone towers. I could put a few walls down. It looks like the siege engines can still shoot effectively to here. And once all the magisters go down, as you can see, the trebuchets take care of this force quite effectively. But I do think we may need a couple more walls and things to encourage them not to shoot my towers. Look at it. They're so bunched up. They're just dying. So yeah, a couple more of these and I think I'll be happy there. Over here, looks fine for now. In fact, you guys are going to have target nearest enemy who's powerful. So I think what we're having here is because there's 2 forces hitting in. Look, see, this group here is not being destroyed. The siege engines are being ignored, and that's not good. Not good at all. So what we'll do to help out is boop, 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 boop. For 8 crystals, there's now 120 infantry on the field. That'll slow them down. And a boop here, and then a boop here, and oh my god, and a boop here. Here, and here. And would you look at that? Suddenly there's a war going on. Yes, everyone here needs to die. My forces, their forces. In fact, look at that. So that solved that issue. Mostly. They'll of course be back, but yeah, it looks to me like this side's a weak point. They're literally drilling straight through. Even without these troops, they would have drilled straight through that area here. The spearmen here are having issues, so let's charge forwards. The knights are holding the line. That is good. We'll be needing more. And this side over here in the farthest corner has lost a couple of pieces of wall. Otherwise, they've held quite well. We do have a couple of areas for more ballista and catapults, but yeah, look at that. We've killed so many. This area's held. This is a success. This is a failure, so I need to get a defensive wall. See, oh my god, they're actually taking out my buildings. See that? They're literally destroying my buildings. This area here needs to be expanded to stop them doing that. The huge amounts of Dark Knights are put down has actually won the fight over here. Look at that. They've won the fight. Over here, yeah, they are literally drilling through the wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 12 crystals. And suddenly there's a massive force fighting. Over here, my troops are destroying the enemy. We're going to retreat back to the wall. But yeah, this has been successful. And also, the crisis has passed. We only lost about 50 men on the field. Considering the amount of troops we sent out there, 50 men is nothing. And a new defensive wall is already going up. We will crush and smush the enemy. Defences are now bespoke and tailored rather than one size fits all. With this area here more effectively defended, it's time to turn this into the breadbasket of my world. Now, how the hell do I do that? I have no idea. I know I have plenty of people to do it because of dead soldiers. But you need to work on getting the housing and the farming up to scratch. If you actually mouse over here, it says I'm making 2352 and I'm consuming 2339. That gives me an error of margin of 13 food a day. That's not a good error. So let's expand and grow. So we end up with something a little like this. We have 4 farms, as you can see here, and 6 granaries. Now, it may not be the best, I can expand this quite further down. I may even be able to destroy some of the older farms and actually put better areas down. I'm not sure how it's going to look and how it's going to work, but this I feel will solve some of our food issues. With a new enemy attack coming, we have learnt a few things. I am trying to build a brand new wall type over here, as you can see. This is my new style, to funnel enemies into gaps when they get killed by crossfire. Now right now I'm debating 2 towers or 3 towers, but I think this is the future. It's not completed by a long shot, and we're not going to be able to get it done before the enemy strikes us from here and here. But this is what I'm looking at, and I think it should be quite good. But enough of that, we have a war to win right now. First wave of 120 soldiers of the sacrificial type. So the enemy spawns into that gap there and that gap there. Probably over here too now I think about it. In fact, let's have a look. So it's just here and here. And these areas where even more catapults could probably do quite significant damage. So this area here now becomes some kind of siege defense position. There we go, more here to do more damage there. That means we don't need as many soldiers to fight. We'll still be using soldiers, but we won't be needing as many. And then a ball here and a ball there. And boop, boop. There we go. So the enemy are still quite numerous, but they're not doing as much as I thought. There we go. Yeah, more catapults and things on this side. We'll fortify this position just here. And then, yeah, they hit there, they get pushed into this bit. This will actually work very heavily against both forces. Over here, we still have this force moving into here. I'm not sure I like this. I'm thinking delete this and push it a further block back. Because I imagine this will get attacked. But here, the enemy probably still path in. And we can shoot them from the side. So the enemy's pathing in, even from this bit here. And it looks like they're still heading straight for this. So, yeah, if we have another line, say, here, we'll be able to hit them in a big U. So that's what I'm going to do. Have a big U here, and this side will be completely cleared of the enemy as well. We have plans afoot. This side, of course, probably need a load more troops, but we seem to be holding fine. In fact, let's just put a few more forces down to say hello. We are wasting troops. Oh, that's a bad position. Catapults will wipe out my building design there. So the enemy forces are not actually attacking that wall, as you can see. The problem being, it looks to me like, yeah, the catapults are hitting it. So catapults are hitting this side instead. So as long as we don't actually have catapults getting in, so it's doing it over here. So we need a way to bring down the catapults in bigger numbers. So maybe a couple more siege things over here, bring this stuff to there, and this area should maybe be good to go, but the catapults are hitting it and they weren't before. And this wall, yeah, not even touching this side. We could just, oh, they have taken that bit of wall out there, just build another side here, build a U-box. So we have plans. Oh, we've lost walls and stuff, and yeah, we need to sort them out now, because this was painful. We weren't even looking and we've lost buildings. So this wall definitely needs to be fortified pretty quickly, because we've nearly lost chunks of it. That was bad. And we'll work on it. Well, the big attacks are back on the way. One's coming here and one is coming here. This gap here. So they should both hit this wall. Unfortunately, this wall is still not complete. So the infantry is probably going to have to push out a bit more. But this wall should hold. Now this bit over here, they should path into this bit. You may have seen the wall's gone because testing says that's bad. And the infantry over here will fight to the death. This area here will be a problem because it's going to hit this bit here where my troops are not yet properly stationed. But I believe in them. I bloody have to. Well, this could be a problem. The wall is half complete and the enemy is right on its doorstep. And the new defense is tested very, very immediately. We have this going on. We have multiple towers with catapults at the rear. And we have obviously the stone towers with the ballista. The ballista will take out any large target. Now, I'm trying to build a little wall here as well, but unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to, because you can see the enemy is pathing along here to there. And you can see over here we have a bit of an issue because the enemy is going round. The enemy's spawning here, and the defences aren't there yet, so we need another one over here. Just going to keep expanding the wall until we're covering everything, I guess. Either way, though, it is definitely working very effectively. The catapults are hitting over here. In fact, we're going to drop a meteor just to thin the numbers a little bit. But yeah, the catapults are hitting over here, so chunks of the enemy are going down. Enemy forces which do make it are being picked off by lots of catapults. And also huge amounts of crossbowmen. But yeah, this is effective. They are getting through slightly, and if they do, I still have huge amounts of defences over here. It's mostly siege engines, which I'll be moving about, but they are there. There we go. So crystals, despite the fact I'm using basic summons, are still very expensive, like super expensive. Each crystal I'm using is probably worth the lives of 10-15 knights. Crystals are very hard to come by. So I'm willing to throw away all of their lives if I have to. Like this force, I'm willing to throw away the entirety of this force. Losing 100 crystal, however, does bother me. So, you know, 50-50. Over here, we started to expand the defensive line here. So we're going to put another defensive line here. But otherwise, this is an area we're going to survive. You see, the enemies are a little bit of damage. Even without the meteor, we'd still be doing lots. To give you a rough idea, about 300 soldiers have died. We've lost 200 spearmen and about 30 odd knights and support troops. So a few losses have been registered. It's time to test the defences. Now, of course, there's not enough troops here, and I don't know they're actually going to work the best. I'm thinking maybe, you know, another layer of walls at the front along these sections, like that. But this, is a good indication of if we're on the right track. Now, we have a huge amount of ballista out there, as you can see. We have large amounts of catapults as well. Huge chunks of catapults. We have trebuchets behind them. This is a mixed combined arms defence. Now, we have a little bit of a problem over here. The enemy appears to be pathing this way, which is why we have the cavalry rating here. And this is currently holding without intervention. We probably need to load more ballista. That's why we have so many of them. If some can't shoot because of the towers being in the way, there's always ballista in other defensive positions. And catapults, and so on, and so forth. Over here, the cavalry has engaged, because that's too many hitting. That is way too many hitting there. They are breaching. Looks like we need another defence over here. This area here, well, I guess we've just engaged. Kill them all. We'll probably lose some calves. But here, it seems to be working. The enemy's being funneled, the crossbowmen are killing them all. Definitely another layer of stone wall at the front to hold them off. I'm okay with losing some wall. Unfortunately, it looks like the catapults are still surviving the longest because, of course, the undead necromancers. In an attempt to save my cavalry, 150 dark knights have been deployed. Now, they're probably going to die pretty quickly, but it's solving that. And over here, I have yet to have to get directly involved. Like I say, some of the walls at the front probably need to be reinforced a bit more. But this is doing what I wanted it to do. Over here, we'll deal. In fact, dealing with those requires you guys to go air effect. There we go. Burn them all. There we go. Burn them all back down to bedrock. This area here is going to lose a little bit of wall, which is annoying, but there it is. And the rest of this is going to be destroyed. It appears not fully okay. We have actually lost some men. We lost 5 crossbow and this wall has gone down over here. The sheer number of troops coming this way has, oh my god, look at all these catapults. Has caused a lot of issues. You see all of this? This is 3 entire waves becoming 1. It's not good for business in any way. Yeah, you can all just die. Are you all dead yet? Good, stay dead. So we've lost some infantry. Not too much. This area is still holding itself pretty well, but that was too many catapults. I want you to know, while we're still reinforcing everything, it has been 6 days since the assault happened, and 2 waves are still smashing into here. And finally, 1 day before the next assault, this assault's finally over. My god, there's so many of them. But with that out of the way, we can carry on expanding the farmland. We need more food for more soldiers, we need more archers on the walls, and thousands of more infantry on the field. And speaking of troops to die first, the enemy's attacking from, it looks like, here. So even though I've finished this area off, we now have to move troops over to it. We just don't have the men yet to cover all the areas. Information from the assault has taught me that this area here is still the weakest. We'll be needing some more siege engines along this area here to bring down the catapults hiding over here and here. This area here is actually working well. As you can see, they are taking a few bits of damage, but otherwise fine. And this area over here, over 200 spearmen have officially died. That's right, 200 spearmen have now died on the front line. This area is starting to get... Look at how many catapults there are. This area is starting to get very deathy. But we're going to get more spearmen down from expanding the housing district. But we're holding. This area is holding. This area is holding. This area here, you know, it's a weak point, but it's holding. And the knights are fighting to the death. So, is it a success? This needs to be redone. The walls need to be redone a bit more. In fact, this area here needs so many more troops. We're having to deploy hundreds more troops. We are, let's see, 300 spearmen have died. My healer's having trouble. We need more defences, more archers, more walls, more everything. In fact, this defensive line here has cost so many men, I've used all of my crystals on it. Which means I need thousands more spearmen to replace the losses, because crystals are so much more expensive than spearmen. Oh, and completely unexpected, this wall over here is very effective at destroying the enemy. There's even a gap and the enemy is dying. This is a success. The housing is going to have to be a little bit specialised on each zone because we're building in rocky area. Like, this is what I'd love it to be like rows of 5 with gaps, but I can't. So this over here is now housing amongst the rockeries. I'm going to dig this area out and make it look nice. So the city will expand and grow, the world will expand and accept it, or else. But we're building, we're growing, and more soldiers are being sent to a quite literal meat grinder at this point. It's beginning to get quite epic. I'm having to now tilt the camera to see most of their housing, as you can see. The wall defences here still exist, more troops are moving towards them, more spearmen are being made, more archers, hundreds more archers now man different parts of the walls. We are fully prepared to make a kingdom. And in keeping with the new city expansion, I'm doing a new wall expansion too. This one's yet another design of dragon's teeth. Whether this one's any good will be up to the gods, and also how many troops attack this as it's being built. And 2 major attacks are hitting this wall here. I am reinforcing it, so this wall should survive. This has been the most fortified wall I've ever got. So many troops and cavalry are awaiting an assault on this wall. We will hold it, and they will die again. The catapult defences on this side are literally tearing this group apart. I knew that they'd be pushed into this cauldron. Look at that. Catapult after catapult is wiping this area out. That is a lot of dead troops for no actual cost. Look at that. There we go. There may be a few siege engines which deal with them, but otherwise fine. We obviously have this stuff over here. This area here is designed straight up to hit this. And as you can see, it's also doing pretty darn well. The enemy is straight up attacking it. And this area here, they are pouring in to the gaps. The walls are effective. Yes! Whether these dragon's teeth work is a different matter. We're still building them. Back into the corner. We are losing towers. That was expected because of what they are. I am going to tell you have to use a beam on all of the siege engines because that's just how it goes. Meh. With this area here, a few minor hits from things, but this area is being cleansed. And even if we lose the towers, we can easily rebuild them. And over here, we're still rebuilding. And I think the spearmen go in once more. Good luck, spearmen, you'll need it. And again, the catapults. Always the catapults. But I'm going to call this currently a success. Although I hate the fact I'm having to use so much of my crystals to catapult kill. We can't even have hunter killers anymore. There's just too many of them. And the walls, they're doing okay. We do need more troops on them. We do need some more things fighting because there's too many magics of necromancy, so double tap here. I will say the dragon's teeth work better when they're more heavily fortified. Right now, I don't have enough men holding it, so I am losing troops. It's a shame, but it is what it is. The dragon's teeth just need more soldiers. This area is holding nicely. The knights are now in. We are losing some of them. That's fine. And over here, let's see, who's hitting that? You a siege engine? I don't even know who's hitting it. Either way, we've had a little bit of damage on the towers, but they've killed so many troops, this is super effective. A few pieces of wall have gone, a couple of siege engines here, that's fine. This area here, this is working. This is very effectively working, but again, I'm out of crystals. We need to kill the siege engines. And I'm going to have it on these dragon's teeth. The front tower is going to be targeting strongest enemies to bring down the magisters, and the rear towers are going to be killing the closest troops. That way, hopefully, we should have less things destroying huge chunks of their defences. Because this has been painful, but as you can see here, this is more effective. So yeah, that should work out. We'll need to replace several hundred spearmen. Oh, we actually are slightly in danger. But we've held yet again. Although, my healers are being killed. So more healers, more knights, more everything. There's some damage to repair. About 400 soldiers died, which is a few too many. But in the grand scheme of things, we've held quite well. We are completely out of crystal. Our resources are vast, but our people are not. And we're slowly rebuilding the dragon's teeth over here. This one over here did its job, and we had no losses, which is absolutely glorious. The cavalry has been significantly reinforced with another 60-odd knights. The ground knights now have 155 of them as opposed to 110, and there's another 30 odd healers. The dragon's teeth over here have been reinforced. As you can see, there's troops on every bit of it. And the dragon's teeth over here have been reinforced and pushed out a bit. We now officially have everywhere we can. Is there someone in there? Officially built and prepared. I've let 3 whole assaults happen. It's been about a month since I've last shown footage. And as you can see, the city is absolutely insanely massive now. There are thousands of soldiers. This wall here has been expanded a little bit. This wall here has issues here and here, which I found out about. And this wall here has cost the lives of about 600 spearmen. There's now trebuchets over here guarding this approach. Yeah, hundreds upon hundreds of spearmen have died. And this wave arrives. A wives arrives. There's a... That's a lot. Oh, that's way too many. Oh, that is way... Okay, there's a small group over here, and then there's this here. So this is just one assault. That's bigger than most. Yeah, this is a few too many. So I'm going to... or. Yep. That's... Oh my god, it's already refilling. Problems. So this over here should have enough troops to deal with it. This over here we might... Oh my god, the meteors and the strikes have caused these guys to actually be pushed onto this side. So I do need to prioritise catapults, which is a problem. Because there's a few of them. So I am still having to directly get involved, which I didn't really want to do, as you know. But here we are, getting directly involved. With destroying catapults. On this side, the enemy is straight up going this way. So yeah, this area needs to be fortified. We don't have enough defences on this area. These troops are... completely useless. And if the enemy's coming this way, I'm thinking maybe a wall along here. That's the whole thing about this. Slowly but surely, reinforcing, fortifying, and devastating. The fact that I have started losing chunks of my building health shows this still needs to be worked on. We are still crushing them, but we are not doing the best. This area here is holding. This area here, I never finished this side, is holding. This area here is somewhat holding. Boop, boop. When we put these here, that should hold out even better. I am now using more mines, which is why there is a builder's hut there. I'm going to be putting lots of mines along this area here and start destroying everything. It's a minor problem of my infantry odds enough and most of my healers just got wiped out. Of course, when healers get killed, they start healing the enemy. There were... Oh my god. There are too many spearmen. This squad is being wiped. We are losing this by a lot. Okay, you guys go there. This is a problem. I've lost 500 soldiers, yes. Cool.
Our units are in combat.
Yep, this area has been completely wiped, so this area here needs to be reinforced significantly. I'll be honest, this wall is not looking the best. There's all these siege engines over here. I need crystals. I need crystals now. Unfortunately, my cavalry, which could get me the crystals, is busy over here. Like, insanely over here. We can hold this line, but... more spearmen are moving to the front line. Probably going to lose a lot here. So I've learned a valuable lesson. We need more siege engines. A lot more siege engines to take out their siege engines. A large chunk of this wall has disappeared, which is a problem because we need to rebuild this very soon. So more spearmen are being made. A lot more spearmen. We're going to start deploying huge amounts of knights, I think, up here. Because the knights as shown here are quite effective. In fact, they're so effective that the worst enemy these knights are fighting are other dead knights. But we're holding here. We're holding here, lost a couple of bits of wall. We're holding here, lost a few more bits of wall over here too. I did have to help out a little bit because of the whole too many of them situation. And over here, we've lost 100 archers, 125 archers. See, they're just not dying fast enough. We're in trouble. Oh, in serious trouble. It looks to me like we held the wall, but we only just held the wall. We've lost about 1,000 soldiers on this wall. This is a failure. A complete and total failure. So we need to rebuild and rearm this significantly, because this is not good. Look at this. It's the siege engines. It's the actual siege engine. We need even more trebuchets. Let's get a few dozen more of those on the field to say hello to the locals. I've also realised our biggest issue is actually crossbowmen. There's undead crossbowmen everywhere shooting my men and undead spearmen. I have more issues with my own men than the enemy. Drop these down now. Despite all our losses, the cavalry has been sent through. Now, we've lost a lot of men. We can easily rebuild a lot of men, though. So, The cavalry's about to all die. The crossbowmen are about to all die. We are going to lose some cavalry. But let's face it, with this here, the enemy is gone. As you've seen, we need to work on this a lot more than I'd like. And we'll work on that about now-ish. So, what have we learned? I'm bad at building. What else we learned? All my men are dead. What else we learned apart from that? My catapults are dead, and so are my defences. So, we need a lot of everything. Coolsies. We're in trouble. The next attack is happening tomorrow. Still rebuilding the defences, as you can see. An attack is happening here, which is goodish. And 2 attacks happening here, which is badish. So this infantry force is probably going to sacrifice their lives. This infantry force is a huge amount of foot knights with more troops arriving. And I'm still getting archers upon the walls. We should be able to hold for a bit on this side. These 2 forces will hit here, and we can take that level of damage. This side is where we're probably going to need a lot more assistance. So I'm actually going to put a load more trebuchets over here. And hopefully that will destroy a lot more of the enemy. We are still rapidly building, because let's face it, we're in trouble. And I'm sending in the entirety of my assault force to slow them down. Over on this side, the knights are also being sent in, because apparently we have to, because the enemy's already attacking them. And there's bits of wall I've missed, like over here. Please stop auto-saving during combat. So this bit here needs a bit more wall. I've missed it. This bit here has been built wrong. Yeah, okay. So we put a meteor down there. We're going to beam here. And we'll save more beams for the catapults later. Because as you've seen, the catapults are really bad. Now, one problem we'll have is as these troops die, we'll have more of these troops trying to kill us. But I'm okay with that mostly. Because let's face it, these troops need to hold the lines so we can build up more of the walls. We've got loads of trebuchets back here for now, also doing damage. And this over here is also doing damage. So we're actually in a better place. Although this force here has already started losing infantry. So, you know, 50-50. In fact, there were so many troops here. This beam has just killed hundreds. And then look at them, just pouring out like a fountain of death. Okay, this area here has successfully held. All it took was several hundred knights dying for me. And, of course, the cavalry charge is about to happen. Which I apparently have lost 70 horsemen of. Good. We've held. A lot more soldiers have died and the wall is getting back up there. But we've held. My God, the amount of knights we've lost is insane. Oh, we're having serious problems. So this area here is also going down. Coolsies. No one targets. Look, no one targets the catapults. No one targets the catapults. We're losing walls. We're losing infantry. This area here is going down. This area here is mostly cleared. There's a lot of necromancers. The cavalry is now charging. But this area here has gone down. We've lost the main gate. This area here is going down. We've lost chunks of the main walls. Oh, no. I don't know what to do. We're in serious trouble. Oh my God, more and more towers are going down. This might be it. This might genuinely be it. And I thought we could last for an entire year. Well, I tried surviving for an entire year. Look at it. Uh-oh. How are we doing over here? Okay, this area here is done. Cavalry, turn around. Turn around and charge that way. You're needed majorly now. Good. Infantry line, rebuild, rearm, regroup. Okay, the infantry line has held that area. This area here, my infantry line has lost most of its knights.
Our troops are under attack.
We should held. Oh, come on. This area here. Our biggest problem is the undead crossbowmen. They're picking off my people quite easily. So this wall needs to be rebuilt. This wall needs to be finished. We've held quite well over here. Obviously a few minor bits of damage, but otherwise fine. Soldiers have, of course, died, but that's expected. It's a defensive area. This area here, nothing's happened. This area here is all is lost. All is lost. I'm sending the entirety of my infantry force and my cavalry up to this wall. We should be able to clear this wall out and save chunks of it, but unfortunately we've lost lots of archers. This area here, the entire wall is just gone. There is no real way we can salvage this, if I'm bluntly honest. If you remember, I took all my troops from the wall to fortify the front wall, which means every soldier I had is dead. Luckily, I have a huge amount of crossbowmen because I was going to reinforce. So this force here is going to here. We will rebuild. We will retake. We will lose a lot of men. This wall's been saved. I mean, there's not much left of it, but we've saved it. This wall here, oh, my God. Okay, you force, there are so many of you, go to here, rearm and repair. We can take this wall. We have lost a fair few buildings, and is all my infantry dead? Cool, we've lost all my infantry. This wall here is under attack. This is the problem. Look at it. Oh my God. So, yeah, the biggest thing I absolutely hate to this game, and I'll be bluntly honest, is the fact you can't have troops target siege machines. I'd like to be able to target siege machines, not just closest or strongest. There are so many other options. There's so many games which give you the option to target strongest, highest attack, stuff like that. Please give me better options. Okay. Push and crush. Go, 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 go. We've held. I think we're holding the line. We're pushing out and we're killing them. Look at that. Oh, God, the walls are going. They are right inside the bread basket. They are right inside the bread basket. They killed hundreds of soldiers. Oh, I can see where they are. They're shooting my men currently. Okay, we have killed the majority of the enemy. They have destroyed so much of my base. We may not be able to come back from this. This is death. We have lost everything. This is complete and total slaughter. How do we rebuild from this? Oh my God, there is a plague inside the city. There's a plague inside the city. This is major. I'm trying to rebuild everything and there's a plague. Just desperately build a hospital. Build it now. So, issues. The entire city's infested. Oh no! There's so many problems right now. Okay, I'm just going to quickly and desperately build a huge amount of first aid tents as and when I can. We just need everyone healthy. I don't care who you are or where you are. So there's plagues. Most of our infantry are dead. We had like a 1,200 people spacey. We have this is our new defensive line if I can ever get it built. You can see it's different by a lot. And we need so many new recruits. We are, well, we can't afford them.
They are attacking our buildings.
Great news. It's day 270. We are 9 months in, give or take. The enemy's attacking here, which we are still rebuilding. The enemy is not giving us a chance to do well. The enemy's attacking here, which we are still rebuilding. So I don't know how this is going to work, but I can say with certainty we're probably going to die. So I have huge amounts of infantry absolutely everywhere. I have archers, lots of archers. We have siege machines as many places as I possibly can go, but for now we're still placing them. So, you know, that's not the best. There are undead all over my city infecting people. In fact, we're still dealing with this. Look at it. I just healed all you people. Why are you ill again? It's not going great, I'll be honest. And one of the big attacks is actually hitting this wall here, which we have not touched at all. The only thing holding this wall is the infantry in front of it. And the only thing saving my... I healed all of you morons. Yeah, it's great. This is why we had defences absolutely everywhere in case an infestation happened. And infestation has happened. And hospitals don't work how they used to. Before, they used to go and visit it. They've changed how it worked since I built this city in the very first episode. Oh, no. This might be it. Can we survive for a year? The answer's probably not yes. In fact, I'm going to go out and say on a limb the answer's certainly, oh my God, not yes. Oh, this is bad. Okay, while we're at it, you go out there, grab all of that. Cavalry, you are now officially needed here. Go. Crossbowmen, you're going to go there. Yeah, you are. It's a shame. I really felt this could be the future of my defensive line, this thing here. But it's not to be. We hadn't finished building it. I see, we're hitting them hard. We're doing lots of damage. Troops are dying. In fact, 1, 2, 3. Cards. 4.
Our fortifications are under attack.
It's already refilled. It's already refilled. Okay. Crossbowmen, die with honour.
Do I know you?
Squad 1, go there. Cavalry, where are you right now? You're there. Charge forward and deal with this. That's never going to hold. Spearmen, good luck.
The city is
That
under
might
attack.
hold for a bit. This area here is now officially a front line. This area here is still holding. Yeah, it's great. Buildings are going down. Their siege machines are destroying us.
Our fortifications are under
boop.
attack.
Cavalry, charge in. There, go.
Ready to ride.
1, 2, another
Units are
60
combat.
soldiers in there. The thing is, I thought I was onto a winner. We were doing so well.
They are attacking the walls.
This defensive line's also going down. Okay, you hold the line. This area here is just vicious.
Our troops are under attack.
Oh, you guys are still outside. Go back into your tower. Run, 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 run. One's dead. Okay, this force here is cleared. We've held again.
Do I?
There we go. Use the air
Our
effect.
troops are under attack.
Gods. I think we're going to survive another wave. But we're not going to be able to keep surviving another wave. We're losing every single infantry and defensive line we've ever had. The cavalry situation has drastically changed. All my cavalry is now dead. And also fighting my own walls. The cavalry is literally destroying my own walls. I've lost every single knight I could make. This wall is going down too. I thought we'd survive. I turned things off. I thought we'd survived. Over here we're doing well. Over here, most of the defences are gone. We still have... Oh my god, we still have troops, but that's just not good enough. Look at them all. No one shoots the catapults. There's now enemy knights inside my base. This force actually held surprisingly well. Apparently, if you just put in a couple hundred knights, you do great. Unfortunately, everyone else is dead there.
Our units are in
My
combat.
cavalry is gone there. And my city's plagued. Everything went to hell so quickly. More troops, more cavalry. We don't need that much food if everyone's dead. Catapults just killed all my troops.
Our troops
We're clearing there. They've killed all my farmland. If they get to the... Oh my god, they're inside that area here. I'm literally about to lose. Once they get through there, they're going to kill my capital. Come on. Are we last standing right now? We're last standing right now. Come on. What have I got left? Okay, you, can you make it? No, you're not close enough.
They are attacking.
This is so desperate. This is so desperate.
My orders.
Come on. I'm making so many soldiers.
Our people are under attack.
I don't care about the people right now. Come on. No. No, 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 no. No. No.
Attacking our citizens.
No, no. Come on. Please. Oh, come on. Oh. Well, I'll be honest. I thought I'd do better. I killed nearly 500,000 enemies. After all that, 2 walls crumbled and everyone died. And if I'd kept my men back at the previous walls, we might have survived longer. But I just wasn't... Oh, they just weren't targeting the siege engines. The necromancers were easy to kill until they started becoming too numerous. Look at them all, there's like 20 of them. And they wouldn't kill the catapults. The necromancers were not actually a problem till my men died. It was the catapults bringing down entire squads of troops that I couldn't fight. Anyway, I've been the fallen shogun. I feel like I've run a marathon. That was so many emotions. This has been an attempt at 365 days. I didn't do it. I didn't do it at all. I've been the fallen shogun. Take care, be awesome, be epic, be amazing, and I'll see you soon.